So today I want to talk about the Sony ZV-E1 that was just announced, which I think is actually pretty incredible. Right now, I'm being shot by the Sony ZV-1, which is the very little brother to that camera, because the E1 is a full frame camera and the ZV-1 is a small little point and shoot with a 1-inch sensor, but it's still very capable. And right now I'm just kind of testing out a new adapter thing that I bought for it that allows you to shoot a little bit wider. So I want to see how that looks. So let me know down in the comments if you think this looks good. Anyway, so the Sony ZV-E1. Now I have an FX30 as well, which is sitting back there. And I'm quite happy with that camera. It's really good. But there are some things with the E1 that I wish were on the FX30. The first one being clear image zoom. And you're saying it does have clear image zoom. And you're right, it does. Not only does it have clear image zoom, but just like the new E1, it has the ability right here to use this little toggle to zoom in and out. And I really like that feature on both cameras because it makes it kind of like a camcorder where you can kind of just use your fingers instead of having to punch a button or like 2 or 3 buttons to do it or whatever, or tap the screen. It just makes you a little bit quicker. But one thing that the E1 has over the FX30 in terms of the clear image zoom, and for those that don't know what clear image zoom is, it basically allows the camera to kind of crop in on the sensor to zoom in. So it's like an electronic zoom instead of actually have it built into your lens where you have to turn the lens or whatever. It's just the camera doing it. So even if you had a prime lens on your camera, like a 16mm, 50mm, whatever, essentially you can like change your 50mm all the way into like 100mm. I think if you shoot in HD, you get 2 times zoom. And if you're shooting in 4K, you get 1.5 times. So you could change your 50 into what, a 75mm or whatever. I don't know if my math is right, whatever. If it's not, hey, I'm not a mathematician, okay? I'm just a content creator. But anyway, you can basically turn your lenses into multiple focal ranges in camera without losing quality. That's the thing. You can do that with the E1. You could do that with the FX30. But the E1 also allows you to still use the tracking focus, and it still has the eye detection focus as well. So you can control the focusing more while you're using that feature. On the FX30, once you zoom in just a little bit, you lose it. You can no longer track your subject by tapping on the screen, and the eye tracking goes away. So hopefully Sony will add that to the FX30 in a firmware update. Number 2, the image stabilization. Both cameras have active image stabilization. So they have standard, then they have another mode that is active that crops in a little bit, but helps you get rid of some of that wobble and stuff that you get from a lot of the stabilizations that are built into camera systems. But it's still not perfect. But now Sony's added a dynamic active stabilization feature on top of the active stabilization that's supposed to be even 30% better than the regular active image stabilization. That's really exciting to me because one of the things that I've been trying to do is eliminate gimbals. I shoot a lot of weddings and I don't like bringing a ton of equipment, but I feel like I have no choice. And I always bring my gimbal with me, and I have my monopod and I have a tripod. I wish I didn't have to bring the gimbal. Number 3. This might be one that they're not going to be able to add to a firmware update. Maybe that image stabilization one, maybe the clear image zoom one, but this last one here, and we'll talk about a bonus one too after this last one. And if you're liking the music that you're hearing, it is provided by Soundstripe.com. And I've been using Soundstripe.com for over 5 years now. It has a great selection of music that I use here on YouTube for all of my wedding videos, commercials, all types of things. And they even have sound effects. So if you're interested in Soundstripe and not getting a bunch of copyright strikes on your account, go ahead and check out the link down below, and you'll also receive a discount. The reframing AI thing that it has going on. So it can actually reframe your shots. So basically me, the subject, like pretend you're the subject and you're recording your video. If you're walking off of screen, you're walking off the screen, you're off of the frame here, it will actually follow you. It will follow you because basically it's cropping in a little bit and then it's just following you wherever you go. So it's keeping you in the center of the frame, which, for a vlogger, for someone who does maybe product reviews and things like that. You're trying to show different things. It's almost like you have a videographer or a camera operator there to pan with you while you're working. Super cool feature. But I think that's really built in with their AI that is in this newer breed of camera. So the FX30 doesn't have that type of AI, so I don't know if that can come through a firmware update. But really, I'm thinking that if it is something that isn't just AI dependent and they could add that in firmware, it might even be better with the FX30 because there are more megapixels on that camera. The E1 is just 12 megapixels. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it's 12 megapixels. So if you have to crop in on that camera, it's probably going to look a little clearer. Just saying, Sony. You might want to experiment with that. And now for that last bonus one that I think is actually pretty awesome as well. It comes with, even the ZV one that's filming us right now has this. There's a little microphone on the top of the camera. And, you know, a built-in microphone that actually sounds pretty decent.
No idea what dinner is tonight. See, I can't even speak. I'm so tired. Yeah, but looking forward to it. I built the tent, so she gets to cook for me.
Wow.
Oh.
But now with the E1, it's even better because it's a directional microphone built in. So it can shoot well from behind the camera or in front of the camera, whatever you choose, or automatically. But it sounds better because it's more directional. And there's more features than that. I think it's quite amazing. So anyway, everything that I talk about, the links are always down below. If you want to check out pricing and all that stuff, go ahead and check it out. Any equipment that I use to make these videos is always down in the description as well if you want to check that out to see what I'm using and check out the pricing on that as well. The next video I'm going to be talking about S-Log3 on the FX30 and some problems I had with it when I was shooting on a styled wedding shoot about a month ago. I'm going to share the problems and the solutions. So make sure you subscribe for that. As always, I'm Mike Turner. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you soon.